in a sense, leading the campaign against the way the EC is conducting itself. Appreciate your joining us. We just had former CEC Gopal Swami defending the Election Commission, saying Rahul Gandhi's allegations baseless, unfounded. EC has nothing to hide when it comes to deletion and addition of voters following due process. How do you respond?
Rajdeep, I've not heard Mr. Gopalaswamy, but I did take a look at the Election Commission's response. And it reminded me of a joke. A judge asked someone who was accused of assaulting someone else, what do you have to say in your defense? He said, my lord, two things. Number one, I was not in town that day. Here is my proof. I was in some other town. And number two, he said, but sir, he hit me first. This is exactly what the Election Commission's response amounts to. What is the Election Commission saying? It's saying, A, it is impossible to do any deletion through any online mechanism. And two, we had filed FIR in any case. Why did you file an FIR if there was nothing that could be done? The simple fact remains, Rajdeep, that yes, there is a process of deletion. Yes, you can make an online application. Yes, all this forgery was about online application, which seems to be generated through a software. Yes, the Election Commission had taken cognizance of those objections. And yes, they had actually started the process of deletion by sending notices. This is when someone discovered, someone got a notice, because I spoke to Mr. B.R. Patil to understand the entire story. So one person in a village got a notice that your name is to be deleted. Mr. So-and-so has objected. Mr. So-and-so used to live in front of his house. He went there and said, why have you objected to my name? The person said, but I've never objected to your name. How would I object to your name? This is when they realized the fraud. The fraud was detected before the election. And yes, Election Commission has filed an FIR. The concerned official filed an FIR. The allegation is not that 6,000 votes were deleted. The allegation is that these votes were about to be deleted, that the entire activity was fraudulent, and that the Election Commission is refusing to cooperate in the inquiry being done by CID Karnataka. Election Commission is refusing to divulge the destination IP, OTP numbers through which all these things were done, and anything which would help enable them to track the device through which this fraudulence took place. If Mr. Gopalaswamy has given a response to that, then I'm not aware of it. But Election Commission hasn't given a response.
No. I'll tell you what, sir. Sir, both Mr. Gopalswamy and the Election Commission in the press statement they gave are emphasizing that they filed an FIR based on the charges which today Rahul Gandhi is putting up in February 2023. That they took cognizance of the complaint. They are the ones who made an on-field verification, and many of those deletions which had been wrongly done were removed. Based on the fact they claim that online applications are not enough for deletions, and they instead want to be commended for preventing a fraud from taking place. But Rahul Gandhi has chosen to target the EC, they say, by claiming the EC is protecting vote chori or the vote chores.
That's the funny thing about it, Rahul, Rajdeep. Just to get the story right, it is Mr. B.R. Patil, the Congress candidate, who detected the fraud. He approached the election officer, and election officer was quite upright. Election officer did what was required, because Mr. B.R. Patil went and said, here are these 6,000 people who are about to be deleted. Please make physical inquiries. The inquiries were made. The application was found to be fraudulent, and therefore those names were not deleted. But that is not what Rahul Gandhi is saying. Rahul Gandhi is not saying 6,000 votes were deleted. Rahul Gandhi is saying that when an FIR was filed, after which the CID Karnataka started an investigation, and CID Karnataka has written 18 times to the Election Commission to say, please help us locate the device. Please share the following information, which only you have. I'm not an IT expert, but CID has written to them 18 times. The question that Election Commission should be answering is not whether automatic deletion was possible. Of course, automatic deletion doesn't take place. Who's saying that? Why are you responding to questions that have not been asked? Election Commission should be responding to the fact as to why is it that it has not responded those 18 times. And all right, forget the 18 times. Why doesn't the Election Commission this evening divulge those details so that we can find out where this was done from? Rajdeep, this is a very serious matter, as you must have seen, in every single booth, because the rule is that only someone from that booth can object. So what the software has done is to pick number one from the electoral roll of each of these booths and filed applications on that behalf. So the suspicion now is not just Alan. The suspicion is that something like this may have been successfully carried out in so many other places. The suspicion is that someone sitting somewhere was running a factory of fraud. That is what Election Commission should be responding to.
Sir, Yogendra Yadav, Election Commission is claiming that they have actually given all the details to the Karnataka investigators when this complaint was originally made. Now there is a fresh IO, or fresh investigating officer, who in the last year has been asking for a fresh list of documents and questions. So what the EC is saying is that wherever something is shown to them, that there is irregularities, they acted in 2023, but you can't expect them to respond to each and every request for fresh documents.
Rajdeep, if Election Commission has nothing to hide, why are they speaking through the sources? Why can't the Election Commission speak in response to this? Surely they have something to hide. That's why they're hiding behind sources. Number two, it's not just the CID. These letters have been written by the CEO of Karnataka, the chief election officer who works under the Election Commission. These are requests from that side as well. And why can't the Election Commission say, all right, this is our answer? So today Rahul Gandhi has made the response, has made accusations. Election Commission within an hour comes with a response. Lovely. Why can't you, within not 1 hour, within 5 hours, now this is more than 5 hours, it's sort of one full day, why can't the Election Commission give responses to these questions? The questions are quite clear. Give us the IP, the destination IP. Number two, location of the device, the name, number, and location of the device. Number three, OTP mechanism through which the fraud was committed. Election Commission can say, sorry, we don't have this information. Or it can say, we have it, but we won't give it. Or it can say, here is the information, take it. The Election Commission must respond.
So you keep saying, Yogendra Yadav, Election Commission must respond. Now, can the Election Commission, does it have to do a point-by-point rebuttal every time Rahul Gandhi speaks, or is it better to have now an omnibus inquiry at the end of which, within a fixed time frame, we will know where we stand? Otherwise, this tutu meme is going to continue and only erode public trust and faith in institutions. Would you accept a time-bound inquiry now ordered by the EC itself?
Rajdeep, Election Commission surely has the time to respond to Rahul Gandhi, which they have. So either they must be so busy that they cannot respond to him. And if this is a leader of the opposition in the country, so you have the time to give a 5-point response, and you don't have the time to give the information that is being demanded. And this is not the one case, Rajdeep. This is happening in case after case after case. Rahul Gandhi says in Mahadevpura, here is an evidence of 1 lakh possibly fraudulent voters. Election Commission says, you must file an affidavit. Akhilesh Yadav says, I have filed 18,000 affidavits. Was something done there? In the case, Election Commission says, you have filed all these objections after the election. We don't take it seriously. In Panvel, he had filed this objection before the election. 85,000 suspected duplicates named. Did you take any action? And in the ongoing SIR in Bihar, why are you not disclosing the names of the people who have been given notices? So time and again, Election Commission puts the onus on people like us on the ground, people like Rahul Gandhi on the opposition. You say, you come up with evidence which incidentally lies in my pocket. How can you do that? This is a joke. This is ridiculous. And I'm very sad to say, when you said in the beginning, Yogendra Yadav is leading a campaign, Rajdeep, I have admired this institution. I have defended this institution all over the world. And as any Indian, I have saluted this institution. And I feel very, very sad that we have to speak like this about this institution. I really, really hope that the Election Commission of India starts behaving like a constitutional authority.
But but you see, is the solution then to go to the Supreme Court as you and others did for the SIR exercise, and then ask questions this time on the electoral rolls, perhaps get some kind of a mandamus order from the court, because otherwise we are caught in this constant, you said this, he said this, the EC, the tutu meme as I call it. Is it better now to have a Supreme Court monitored inquiry in your view?
If it's a one-time ordered inquiry, which is widespread, possibly yes. But let us remember, the court, Supreme Court or any other court, is after all a third umpire. You cannot take every no ball and every white ball to a third umpire. Third umpire steps in once in a while. And if everyone assumes that the two umpires who are on the field are actually not umpires, but part of the team, then what is left in the game? So I'm actually very sad. I don't want judiciary to step in everything. I really want the election commission. I mean, the field umpires cannot be replaced. Field umpires have to behave like field umpires. And if they continue to do what they are doing, I really don't see an end game to what's happening here. I'm actually very sad. I'm very apprehensive. And I would really, I don't want the court to lead everything in this country. You cannot ask the court to do the job of every other institution of this country.
But is the answer there? Is the answer, Yogendra Yadav, as the EC seems to suggest, look, we are going in for now a nationwide special intensive revision, a nationwide SIR exercise. We'll put in checks and balances. Are the anomalies that you and others have found in Bihar enough to suggest that there is something rotten even in the SIR exercise? Or are you willing to give them a benefit of the doubt as they go across the country saying, we are purifying the rolls. We will ensure there are no wrongful deletions, additions. We want to be transparent. Are you willing to give them the benefit of doubt?
Rajdeep, I'm willing to not only give benefit of doubt, I would actually say it is Election Commission's duty and their right to clean the electoral rolls. However, what is called SIR is not a solution. It's a problem. Just to give you one single instance, the Election Commission in its own rules says that if there is one household where more than 10 electors exist, then there's something suspicious or funny about it. Please go and verify it. Now, Election Commission has conducted this SIR, which is supposed to be that lovely exercise where everything has been proved. Do you know the number of households in Bihar after the SIR has been done, where there are more than 10 voters in a single house? Rajdeep, the number is 16,90,000 households. And the number of voters in those households is 2,78 lakhs. Is this cleaning and pruning of electoral rolls? Have things got better or have things got worse? May I simply suggest that the Election Commission could please do old-style intensive revision, which is to say, ask the BLO to go from house to house, ask them to make inquiries. No need to get them to fill any form, no need to ask for any document, unless there is a special suspicion about someone. Just go house to house, good old-style enumeration, just as the Census of India does, about which there is not much of a controversy. Just do that. And to begin with, if Election Commission really is serious about checking what they have done in SIR, may I suggest that Election Commission can ask a government agency, ask the NSSO of India, National Sample Survey, to conduct a 1% sample check of the accuracy of the electoral rolls in Bihar after the SIR. The nation will get to know the truth.
May I, in conclusion, ask you a political question? There are those who say the opposition, the Congress in particular, are simply changing the goalposts. For a long time, they said something is wrong with EVMs. Now they've turned to electoral rolls. The truth, according to them, is the Congress and opposition is not good enough to win elections. Why are you blaming the EC for your own weaknesses and faults?
look, the fight between the ruling party and the opposition will go on. I don't expect opposition to praise the ruling party. I don't expect the ruling party to praise the opposition. The trouble is about the umpire. What is the umpire doing? If you suspect that an umpire is doing multiple kinds of problems, then can you say that no, please bring only one complaint? No, don't bring three complaints. If you suspect that the game is being manipulated at multiple levels, obviously different kinds of complaints would come. Initially in Mahadevpura, the complaint was about suspected inclusion. In Alal, the complaint is about suspected deletion. There are malpractices, as many malpractices as you see, you would have as many complaints. And why is it that the BJP is responding on behalf of the Election Commission? Why doesn't the Election Commission respond? Why is it that it is, it should be a match between two teams? Why is it that the umpires are looking like part of a team?
Yogendra Yadav, for joining me and telling me why you believe the EC has much to answer for. I appreciate you joining us.